Morgana ban, more of a solo queue oriented ban. Not an extremely strong champion, but can snowball, sorry, very hard. Not sure about the Mordekaiser ban, he's fairly easy to counter. Yeah, okay, so it looks like both teams just banning out AP carries that can snowball
It is.
very hard.
I guess these guys were watching the stream and just saw that how hard Mordekaiser. People think that he's like. I don't even know. I don't know. Mordekaiser is definitely one of the best champions in the game, like without a doubt. In terms of like, why would you want to pick Mord? It's like that sort of question is really to me what makes a good champion. It's like if you want to compare, who is the best AP champion? A lot of people would say Cass, Ryze, etc. But the thing is, every champion has its own role, and Mordekaiser is like it's sort of situational. It's if you get a ghost, you win a team fight, and people don't realize just how strong that is. And we saw in that last fight, Mordekaiser with nothing more than a Janya's Hourglass and a Janna ulti turned around a 3v5 simply by getting a ghost down on Ashe. And if you can actually burst down the Ashe, you don't you can make it so that you can't QSS his ulti because it does deal a significant amount of upfront burst damage. So what that means is, if you have an Ashe sitting around 20% health and Mordekaiser flashes in and gets the ulti down and pops his Janyas, he can still micro that clone and get a lot of IE crits, especially on a champ who kind of scales well off of AP and AD. I can't really think of anyone right now any AD carries who do that because obviously you can't use spells, only auto attacks. But I think there are some AP scaling passives in the game. Anyway, regardless, Mordekaiser, super strong pick, very good at pushing, and if you don't have a jungler who can kind of gank mid a lot, it is a lane that really sort of snowballs out of control. So anyway, we do see a banned out this game. We also see Shen, Warwick, Morgana, and Lee Sin sort of, I think, not so much targeted or situational bans,
solo
just
queue
kind of
bans.
like solo queue bans, exactly. 0 Hour actually picking up Orianna. Orianna, another very underrated champ. If you have someone with a gap closer, especially someone like a Sejuani or a Malphite who doesn't even need to hit a target, who can just dash into the enemy team, that Orianna ulti is a tremendous kind of like follow-up initiate. So there are initiates in this game, something like an Amumu ulti and a Malphite ulti, where it's not really like a skill shot and it's very consistent. It's kind of like click Malphite ulti on enemy team and that's your engage. Maokai Twisted Advance kind of like a single target initiate. But then we have these sort of like awesome counter or like follow-up initiates like that Orianna ult. Not the strongest ulti in the game in terms of its initiate potential. However, if you have someone going first like a Jarvan, it is a very, very, very strong ulti to use. So I think blue team doesn't have the option to pick up Janna. However, I think Alistar would be a very good pick. Maybe Jarvan goes in to initiate with that Orianna ball on him, and Alistar just says nope and pushes him away. I'm going to say that this is probably going to be a Mundo jungle and a Rumble top. Leona going to be that support. I think probably not the best pick for support against Orianna Jarvan. She has no real disengage, but she has huge engage potential. So I think maybe blue team going to want to pick up some real disengage potential in their AD carry. Maybe a Tristana pick. Oh, but she's already picked up. Sivir, not a bad pick with that spell shield, can block the ulti. And actually, if you look at it now, blue team has huge amounts of engage. However, no escapes against Jarvan. I really like to run sort of a Corki and Ezreal, a Caitlyn against Jarvan because if you don't have your flash up, you are going to be screwed. Looks like we might see a Heimerdinger mid. Lots of squishy champs and no real disengage. Tons of engage potential. I guess you could kind of consider Heimer disengage. He pops down his ulti. He pops down his turrets, and they get a lot of slow going on and a lot of armor and MR shred. But still, not so happy about this Ashe pick. I think it's going to be Cross Your Stars playing. Almost definitely going to want to pick up heal and almost certainly going to want to pick up Flash to get out of that Jarvan ulti. This isn't release date Jarv a year ago where you could ghost out of his ulti for the lulls. But no, we do see these are the final picks. We are going to see probably a little bit of trading and maybe some changing of summoner spells. Whisper V picking up Ignite Teleport. Sort of a strange decision there. Exhaust Clairvoyance. I'd like to see the Clairvoyance picked up in these games. However, we'll see how effective it is. Both solo tops at it actually running Ignite Teleport. A little bit strange.
So I think it's a bad decision on Rumble's part to take Ignite, since Riven actually has a really huge scaling shield. So
yeah,
whenever I play against Riven top, I definitely take Exhaust because it's actually just so much more useful than Ignite versus.
Yeah.
And I know you guys were calling me out the other day for taking Exhaust versus Riven as opposed to Ignite. So that's why I decided to say that.
Oh, you're just trying to... That's why you wanted to cast, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the entire point of me casting was just to point out that Exhaust is stronger against Riven than Ignite is.
Yeah,
that was the entire point of it.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Yep. So actually we see Heimer with Ghost and Flash. I don't think it's the right choice here.
Ghost, I think, is strong on Heimer. Because he is very much a kite-centric champ, and kiting much stronger on Ghost than it is on Flash. However, I think maybe he wanted to run Ghost Ignite and then saw that Jarvan pick and said, maybe I'll take both.
Right.
I guess, Heimer really doesn't actually need Ignite. I think Ignite is maybe a little bit overrated in terms of its damage. 1 W from Heimer late game is going to be dealing equal amounts of damage. So he is going to have lower kill potential, but they don't really need the Ignite in terms of the utility it provides through the healing reduction. They aren't going against maybe a Vladimir or a Swain or anything of that nature. No summoner heal picked up, and no sustain support. Other than that Janna ulti, there is no heal on the team of Purple. On Purple's team. Interesting to note, by the way, Mundo and Rumble, neither of whom have either an escape or flash. So if that Jarvan ultis Mundo, we're probably going to see him turn on his burning agony and just kind of throw cleavers willy-nilly out of that Jarvan ulti. Not going to be able to get in the face of the AD carry. So I think Jarvan is probably going to be able to shut down Mundo's effectiveness. Mundo, of course, has that burning agony, which reduces reduces CC and also Merc Treads. However, you cannot tenacity your way out of a Jarvan ulti. No matter how tenacious you are, that is a terrain generation skill and not a crowd control, technically. So regardless of anything that happens, anytime Jarvan wants to put Mundo in a little bit of a cage, he can do it. And I believe that Jarvan ulti lasts for either 5 or 6 seconds. Genocide, you play a lot of Jarvan. How long does that ulti last at max rank? 5, 6?
I believe it is 5. Yeah, I have no idea. Hey,
great job, Genocide George. You can't call yourself the King Jarvan.
No, it's like 3.5, isn't it? Or 4?
No.
Wait, let me check.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna go on Law Wiki.
Jarvan 4, the
Jarvan 4, exemplar.
Jarvan 4 leaps to an enemy champion, dealing physical damage and creating
3.5 seconds.
Around them for 3.5 seconds.
They nerfed that. There's no way that that's how short it was on release. It used to be huge. Either that or it just feels so much longer when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, that is true.
And it feels even longer when you have a Jarvan on your team in solo queue who says, "I'm Jarvan, I'm helping," and like jumps into like a Rumble, Zareth, Misfortune, Sona, and
I'll tell you my solo queue terrors. One time I was playing with a Jarvan jungler.
Wait, I need to think of an AoE heavy jungler.
What?
Mundo?
Anyways,
Shyvana. Anyway, so continue with your boring story.
Yeah, I was top as Renekton, and we had a jungle Jarvan. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool, jungle Jarvan's good. And then they picked a solo top Cassiopeia and mid brand, so I was kind of scared about that. But I dominated Cassiopeia, and I was there. I dominated brand. It was all good until teamfights came around, and Jarvan was like, "I'm gonna ult my team inside all the AoEs," and so we basically went 5-0 every single teamfight because Jarvan just decided that our team should take as much AoE magic damage as possible.
Yeah.
And we lost, and it was horrible.
That is a very sad story, George, which I'm sure the stream viewers were excited to hear.
They cry every team.
they cry every team. Heimerdinger, Rumble, Leona, Mundo. That is actually a surprisingly large amount of AoE. So if Jarvan messes up his ulti, We're going to have Burning Agony from Mundo. That ulti from Rumble, one of the best scaling damage AoE spells in the game. Of course, the initial damage is something like 400 at level 3, but then what really scares people about that Rumble ulti is what I like to call the red carpet, which is, of course, that huge amount of AoE damage that kind of just persists and sits on the floor and ruins everyone's day. Ashe, with that arrow, maybe going to do a decent job engaging some of these fights. Ashe into Leona is a very powerful engage combo. Rumble with two forms of DOT, both his ulti and his Q, are going to be able to pop Leona passive procs in an AoE. So late game, that is going to add up to significant amounts of magic damage.
Some BM coming from
a little bit of BM. I think 0 hour is now banned for life. Banned for life. Banned for life. He called someone a nerd on the internet. Oh, the horror. Oh, the humanity. So it does look like Red is just going to go and defend their Red. It looks like maybe... I play a lot of Jungle Jarvan. I like to think that I popularized it. I invest Jungle Jarvan NA. My build is generally 6 Phantom Dancers. And what I like to do is start with the blue. Jungle Jarvan, pretty fast clear times if he can throw down his Q and E at each camp, so he is relatively blue reliant. So maybe Orianna not the best pick, because Orianna really wants to have those blues. Had they gone for a manaless jungle and given the blue buffs to Jarvan, it would have made his clear times significantly faster, which of course means more ganks for the lanes. But at any rate, I think people overstate the amount of mana Jarvan requires to clear his jungle. He is a Wriggles-based jungler, and he does get a very nice, I think it's something around like 40% passive AS with his Demacian standard E. Standard, of course, not meaning standard like standardized testing. Standard meaning flag. So not many people know that. Demacian standard, kind of like a weird name for a spell, but standard is another sort of somewhat antiquated word for flag. He is going to go for boots 3. What?
Takes a lot of damage to that wolf camp. Wow.
What? And doesn't actually clear it. Usually my route on Jungle Jarvan is to get a heavy leash here at blue and then go counter jungle to red. However, Mundo, of course, starting at his red. Jarvan, one of the best counter junglers in the game, in my opinion, because that EQ combination does let him go over walls, so he's not forced to use a flash to escape. So it's sort of like a Shaco. He's like a tanky Shaco, and I don't like the fact that he didn't take the extra time. His team didn't help him at all on this wolf camp. We saw like 1 or 2 auto attacks from the Tristana. So really slowing down his clear times a little bit. We see Mundo has already, in fact, cleared his Wraiths and his Golems and his Red. So he's going to be a little bit ahead in CS. He's going to probably pick up this Wraith camp and then maybe make his way over to secure blue. We do see the CV coming down from Purple Team's Janna. Spots the fact that both blue and Wraiths are still up. I don't think that Jarvan is really in a position to go for the counter jungle, though, against Mundo, because it is Mundo. He is a very good duelist early game with those cleavers and that Burning Agony. And he has his red buff, whereas Jarvan only has blue. So Jarvan instead taking so much damage. I don't like this start. Boost 3. I mean, Jarvan just really wants to get up to level 4 so that you can get 1 point in Q, 1 point in W.
If he ganks down, that could be a blue buff for Rumble right there.
Yeah.
Rumble needs to Q and E him, and then just ignite. That's it. Dead.
Yep.
Jarvan.
He does have his shield. I don't know. He didn't decide to pick up his red buff. I think maybe he felt he was too low. The exhaust comes down. Will Jarvan hit his EQ? There it is. Rumble not flashing out in time. That is going to be first blood. Rumble did not actually have flash. Very good point. Neither did Riven. Oh wait, no, she did change her summon as well. I don't know about this teleport ignite pick on Rumble. We'll see maybe if bot lane can get a ward down in the enemy brush, it could be huge. Leona actually going into a level 3 Trist. Not
that really is a beautiful Leona skin.
I like it. Locket of the Iron Slurry, right? We do see a ward in this brush, so no lane gank's going to be coming out of this Mundo's hands.
Jarvan might die to this.
No, he has a smite up. No, but if anyone here wants to go for Jarvan jungle, start Cloth 5.
Yeah, I played a fair amount of jungle Jarvan, and while I want Boots 3 to work, I really do, it's just not possible.
What you want to do, Jarvan, because of his EQ combo, doesn't actually really need the mobility he gets from Boots. He has a gap closer, which obviously makes, you know, kind of you don't really need boosts if you could just gap close on top of their face and start smacking them with red buff. So what you want to do, cloth 5, your full jungle clear will get you to 700 gold, and then you can go back, pick up the early mad reds, and then go start really just clearing your jungle super fast. Ganks super hard with red buff with his EQ combo and shield. Mundo gonna give this blue buff over to Heimer very early on. It is the first blue buff. Mundo hasn't taken it. Oh, and it might reset. No, it does not. So we are going to see, I think, a slight level advantage for this this Heimer once he picks up the creeps that he missed in this mid wave, if he can get there in time. Does, in fact, pick up the XP. And now he's just going to be able to spam rockets all day. Heimerdinger's poke, if he maxes W, which is what he's doing, deciding not to put a single point into E, which I think is really a very viable way to play Heimer these days. If you just mash W off cooldown, you do so much damage that Orianna is actually going to have a lot of trouble. Orianna, not the strongest laner in the game, not maybe going to have an answer for this poke damage, especially since Heimer has blue and she does not. So really, I think this lane is just going to be poke, 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 poke until Heimer can get in range for an ignite. Oh, but he doesn't have an ignite, and actually a kill going down. I missed that Jarvan gang. By the way, George, try not to look at what I'm talking about. Instead, maybe watch the map and see if any ganks are going down on the lanes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Top lane, actually.
But I did kind of want to watch this poke to see. Already actually sending Orianna back, and of course Heimer, if you let him get into position, he will just push you all day long, and maybe even remove your turret very early on. Jarvan does look like he's going to go and try and hold mid. He did pick up an assist on the kill bot and an assist on the kill top. However, because of that boost 3 build he did, he is a slow clear. Very dead Ash. Was that a...
wasted flash by Tristana, but yeah.
What do you think killed her? Just a rocket jump from Tristana dealing lots of damage. She's stuck around
the rocket jump plus the slow from Janna is actually a fair amount of burst damage.
Yeah.
So and Janna kept throwing out those auto attacks, and Trist healing reduction just some
lots of damage actually coming out onto this Heimerdinger. Jarvan once again ganking, taking a little low, decided to back off, and I guess that is the power of having an ignite in lane. Heimerdinger, without that ignite, not the highest amount of kill potential. A little bit unfortunate because he did donate their team's blue buff over to that Orianna.
And purple team blue buff will be up in about 10 seconds.
Yep.
Maybe 15.
And that is going to be the purple team's blue and the red team's the blue team's red. Yeah. Interesting to note, by the way, Leona is a melee support. Janna is a range support, so it looks like the way that they've been able to really shut down this lane is just by harassing the enemy. Anytime any of you guys want to win lane, if you're forced to play support as a bot lane, as a 5th pick in solo queue, it is a tremendously fun role. Don't give up on it. What you want to do, buy a ward, put it down in the enemy brush, and just auto attack all day. It's as mechanically complex as playing AD carry. Instead of last hitting creeps, you harass the enemy melee champ. If you see that Alistar pick up any ranged champ and then just go troll wall them all day long. Heimer actually falling pretty far behind this Orianna now. Did decide to go for that Chalice of Harmony instead of maybe a Tear of the Goddess. Once again, Got Milk doing a terrible job of casting and missing these kills. Yeah, George, if you just want to follow the jungler...
yeah, dude, I don't even know, like, I looked bot lane for a second just to see how well they were doing, and then Rumble just got bursted so hard. Like, the fact that it doesn't have flash means that
I think really this is going to be anytime Jarvan heads top, it's going to be a free kill. Riven just
I'm just
so much damage.
Jarvan for the rest of the game, that's it.
Yeah, by the way, Heimerdinger taking that blue with a troll of a rocket. Orianna gonna chase right into a Heimer turret. Heimer, I think, probably doesn't have his ulti. Most Heimers don't. And Jarvan doesn't have his ulti up. Heimer, though...
Even wasted goes there.
Yeah, but of course, I don't think there's really any coordination. Nightwish 11 up top on that Rumble, not saying, hey guys, I just got ulted by Jarvan, so that's going to be down for another minute or so. It is still down. It has a 2-minute cooldown, so we have 1 minute left on that cooldown. So Heimerdinger, obviously very poke-based, only 10 AP compared to the 70 AP on Orianna. Orianna is dealing so much more burst damage than this Heimer. So we don't really see the strength of Heimer coming into play because he is quite far behind. Has died and is only actually 10 CS behind, so not the end of the world. Mundo gonna go for a little bit of an invade. Doesn't put his... this could be trouble for him. The Orianna ult comes out. The knockup goes down. The exhaust goes down on Oriana, and Heimerdinger just not able to throw out that sort of burst damage Oriana's capable of. Gets some nice damage down on a Jarvan, which is probably going to mean he's not going to be healthy enough to go for either his red or his golems. However, Mundo going a little bit too balls deep, didn't have that ulti up, I think. If he had that ulti up, it would have been, oh my god, and just 30 AP. That is one of the drawbacks of starting with that Chalice. If he had a little bit more AP, you know, you factor in all the times that he's hit Oriana with a rocket so far, and that extra burst right there on the end of that, you know, with that final rocket, which very nearly killed the Oriana. It was certainly going to kill. Instead, deciding to go for the Chalice. Does have 31 MR. Heimerdinger quite reliant on mana, and I think maybe he thought he wasn't going to pick up that blue buff. You see, oftentimes they'll start with a tier. However, tier, of course, very weak early game. Its strength only really in the fact that it provides you so much mana. So I think Heimer gonna be a little bit more comfortable just holding down on the blue buffs for the mana regen, able to get his very early on. Did die to Oriana, giving it over there, and also able to steal the enemies. Looking down bot, we do see a Leona missing that Zenith Blade. I think he's throwing it down there.
Lane.
Oh yeah, Jarvan is about to gank with his ulti. I think a ping that went down. They do have this river warded, however, no wards in Tribrush or lane for Rumble, so maybe we could see a lane gang coming through from Jarvan instead of just going to go back to farming screens. We do see 34 CS on this Jarvan to 64. Someone's going low. It's Tristana down bot. That combination of the Ashe Arrow and the Leona ulti, both of which were used in that exchange, just so powerful. You land the Leona stun, it's a free Ashe Arrow. You land the Ashe stun, it is a free Leona.
A lot of damage coming to Rumble top lane from just Riven's Q. Wow, that was tremendous. Whisper B actually is maxing the Q on Riven. You don't see often.
Yeah, you usually see the max key burst for the farm potential. I think actually this could be trouble. Mundo doesn't have an escape. Heimerdinger going very low. Is this going to be able to pick up? No, missing.
Rumble not ulting that Jarvan. I have no idea why he didn't use the ult there.
Yeah,
easy up.
Very low on
he's going to die for it now.
He is going to in fact die. I think maybe we're just seeing a little bit of mismatch in the skill this game. I think this Rumble a little bit outclassed by Whisper B up top on Riven. Falling behind very hard in CS, only 55 CS at the 12-minute mark. However, Riven also only at 56. However, Riven 114 MR and Rumble with only 88. Did pick up that Ninja Tabi though, smart buy. Not opting for more damage as you probably would if you were snowballing the lane. Instead saying like, oh, I'm in a world of hurt right now. I really just need to tank up. So smart.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to blame Rumble for losing that lane. Like, if you look at Jarvan right now, he has been every single lane, ganked every lane except bot lane twice. So, Jarvan is 105, meaning he's been in 6 of the 7 kills in the game. That's huge influence. So, I'm going to hand it to Jarvan for winning top lane because those early ganks of Rumble really just shut him down.
Although, that is partially Rumble's fault for not running Flash against a Jarvan.
That is true. I don't know why he'd ever do that.
I don't know. Teleport, and also he's really not using his teleport wisely. I mean, obviously the strength of that is that if blue team were to have this bot lane warded and purple team would push as they have been pushed most of the game, it could be a kill for Rumble if he gets behind them. Jarvan looks like he's poised to maybe EQ in there, flash, and then ulti on top of Leona or Ashe, neither of whom have their flash up. This could be a lot of trouble. I think he's gonna back off. Not the smartest decision. I think the purple team should have really realized he was there waiting for that gank and pushed very hard and fought that 3v2. Oriana finding Mundo able to steal away that big Wraith. No wards there. I think that was just blind. Blue team, blue buff for purple team has respawned now. Heimerdinger out of mana would love to get his hands on that blue.
Oriana getting very low from Heimerdinger poke and Mundo. Jeez.
She does have a catalyst, which I think is a little bit interesting. Only 40 MR though. I would like to see Heimerdinger pick up Sork Shoes because this Oriana maybe gonna get caught. The cleaver misses and instead just runs away. We do see a little bit of an evade here. Purple team pinging the blue buff. Tristana is coming up. Leona also coming up.
Really fast blue team.
The ulti might go down. There's the ulti. Oh, and a lot of damage coming on to Oriana from that ulti. However, Mundo falling down. And I think just too slow to respond from blue team. So a bit of a failed invade there. That was 3v2. The Ash Arrow did connect on Oriana, who got taken very low. The Mundo not quite having a successful time this this kind of counter jungle attempt, or even just this game in general. He is 0-2. His Heimer is 0-2. His Rumble up top is 0-3. Huge gold advantage, leading from the fact that Purple Team is up 1-9. We see a 4K gold lead in the favor of Purple Team. Looking at the farm, 108 CS mid to 88, so about a 20 CS lead plus the 3 kills and the 2 assists. Bot lane actually doing a very good job out farming Trist. However, Trist was able to pick up a couple kills, and now that she is out of mana in lane without her flash up, she has to be careful. She doesn't have that ulti off cooldown. If Jarvan were to show his head, but no, I think maybe they know that he is up top, perhaps spotted by Rumble's ward up there. Actually, Rumble not having a ward. We give a quick check of the vision. We'll see only 2 wards. One of them bought by Mundo. The other one placed by... actually, 2 wards down for Mundo. Mundo doing a decent job protecting his Heimer with these wards. However, looks like they are going to go for maybe a dragon attempt. No, instead going to back off. Rumble, by the way, has his teleport up, so it would be a smart call for Blue Team to go for that dragon. I think just one Ashe ulti. In the vision for Purple Team, we see 1 ward up at top. No wards at dragon, no wards in anywhere in the enemy jungle, and none in the river. So it's a sort of a surprise that Mundo hasn't ganked harder. Here's a gank attempt. Unfortunately, those cleavers, Heimerdinger still without a single point in his E, not able to put down any CC, which is usually what Mundo wants from his laners when he comes in for the gank. Something like a Rise Rune Prison to lock them in place for a free cleaver hit. And then Mundo, once he gets that first slow off, he can just kind of say, like, time to perma slow you. At any rate, I think a little bit of misplay from from Blue. They have obviously lost this early game advantage. They are behind in gold and kills. No turns taken yet for either team, but more importantly, this Rumble with teleport, not really able to put any presence down anywhere on the map. So I think what he could do is, push up mid a little bit, and then teleport down to the ward at Dragon and force the 4v5. They should have done that 5 minutes ago. They should have been doing it now for the second time. And I think that would have been a gold lead for, or at least, bring the gold slightly in the favor of Blue Team. However, it now looks like we are going to see Jarvan and Oriana heading bot for a 4v2
gank. Really bad. There's no Triward sword.
Oh, and flash the ulti. However, that is a very dead Ashe with that Jarvan ulti. Leona not throwing down the ulti early enough, and that is going to be a 2-for exchange. Almost certainly going to be free dragon or purple. Because
I don't think he made as hard as he can, but not going to be able to do anything. He should have come down there with the rest of the team.
Oh, actually, I don't know about this. I think it is the smart move from Heimer. He just pushes so fast. And, mid-turret, Oriana not going to be back in time to save it. Oh, but he doesn't put down another turret. He does have one in his inventory. So I don't know about that. I think he definitely could have taken that turret. Instead, that is, in fact, going to be a free dragon for Purple Team. Although Mundo misses the cleaver. Jana kind of slams him into the wall. He decides to back off. A little bit of... There we go. There's the kill. Nicely done. However, the ulti finally goes off, but too little, too late from Heimerdinger, and kind of gets stuck out a little bit. He didn't have his ghost or his flash up because he did flash in for the kill. 2 for 1 plus dragon.
He gets away from the Oriana and Tristana.
Right, but I'm saying like it wasn't enough. He ran into the dragon pit, and he would have just been running around in circles because his flash was down. Looks like Oriana gonna do a nice counter push here. She does have a cannon minion. It is gonna die down very fast. No way for Oriana, of course, to shield those minions. Her shield only affects champions. Unlike, I believe, Karma, Lee Sin, any other champions in the game you can think of who can put down a shield on a minion. Soraka, of course, can heal them and provide the armor buff. There's an ulti from Rumble. He lands the E. Nicely done from him. Oh, but the ulti is off. I don't think, of course, that lack of flash on Rumble just punishing so hard. A very nice Oriana ulti was able to knock him back, which is what really made them made the game kind of fail. Lots of damage coming out from the Rumble, but just not enough to seal the deal. A nice Tristana stun, very nicely done from Blue Team, able to wombo combo that Tristana from full to 0. I don't know if she used her rocket jump. It didn't go on cooldown. Sometimes you know, if a Leona slightly leads the Tristana, it's not a blink ability. Ezreal Arcane Shift and of course Flash are blinks. They are instant. The Tristana Rocket Jump is not an instant cast Flash. It is more of a dash, which can be interrupted and knocked up mid-air. So Leona, I think, did a nice job to stop that Tristana from getting away. Blue buff is up. However, if I was Heimerdinger, I would not want to invade this. 2 failed invades in a row. You got to know your boundaries. And of course, pulling that nicely into the brush, which blue team didn't have vision of, guaranteed that the Heimer could not steal it with rockets, only instead stealing a small creep, which is useless. 5 gold only on those small creeps at the ancient golden buff. So right now we do see a bit of a, a little bit of a snowbally game. Heimerdinger not really able to play to his strengths in lane, which is, I guess, poke and pushing. Did have some nice poke. Not able to pick up a single kill in lane. Did a decent job of getting some CS, 129 CS to Orianna's 164. But when you're against someone who's 404, getting every little last bit of CS is actually a challenge. So Orianna able to really, I think, win mid lane, I guess with the help of the jungler. Rumble losing pretty significantly up top, I think, because he didn't pick Flash against Jarvan. Really not the smartest choice.
Orianna coming bot lane for a gank, but Heimerdinger actually decides to follow this time, so...
Oh, wow. And,
it'll be a 4v3 here.
I don't know. Oh, wow. And actually, Ash turning around, getting the arrow down. I think Orianna probably going to flash over the wall. Janna knocks Mundo back. Tristana puts the E down on Mundo. Really going to reduce the amount of healing you can do with that ulti. And Leona, nice ulti from Orianna, stops them. But I don't know, is it going to be enough? The perma-slow goes down. And no, it is not going to be enough. That Orianna shield plus the Janna shield is around, I want to say, 300 to 400 HP for free. Tristana going to get quite low to the poke from Heimerdinger. And as the saying goes, I think about jungle Heimerdinger, he doesn't gank lanes, he ganks turrets. So if he shows up in the lane and gets a little bit of an advantage, he is going to be able to push down those turrets very easily. However, top lane, this is almost certainly going to be a kill. Jarvan has that ulti. That is a very dead Rumble. This is why you do not pick Teleport Ignite against Rumble. Every 2 minutes, if this Jarvan wants, every 100 seconds now, I think maybe a little bit of cooldown reduction, only 5%, I guess, just the reduced cooldown on his level 2 ult. Every 100 seconds, because of Riven having such a huge lead, 3-0-1 with a 30 CS advantage, every time Jarvan wants to pick up a kill up top, he just has to go up there, EQ into the lane, even if he misses, and just click his R button onto Jarvan, get that ulti down, and there's really nothing Jarvan can do to escape. Jarvan, of course, having 2 gap closers innately in his kit, plus Flash, and if you hit that EQ Flash ult combination, you will cover a lot of ground. So Rumble, even if he sees Jarvan coming, will not be able to get away if Jarvan wants to decide to commit, especially now that the turret is down up top. Rumble gonna have a lot of trouble. You know, ganks can happen very far into the kind of the side of. Oh, Orianna getting caught by all 3. The Leona stun goes down. A ulti gonna try and maybe get away. Jarvan is there. And no, the Orianna finally dies. First death of the game. Jarvan maybe gonna, no, just, I thought he was gonna go for the EQ combo over that wall. It does have flash up. However, Leona going in, probably gonna want to target this Jarvan instead. No, they are gonna go for the Janna. They're not gonna pick up the red buff that Jarvan had. However, a kill is a kill. 3 assists for blue. That's about 90 gold each, I want to say, for each of those 3 people. Plus, Heimerdinger finally picking up his first kill of the game. Of the 5 kills that we've seen for blue team, all of them I think have been bot lane, although we did see 1 kill from Mundo, I think in the jungle. Anyway, looks like double turrets going down, only one of them in range of the turret, and the rest of them targeting the enemy tent. Lots of damage going down onto Trist. You can sort of see Heimerdinger, like, you can kind of understand the concept behind Heimerdinger without that poke. Looks like he's building a Johnny's Hourglass instead of a Death Cap, which is nice because those Heimerdinger turrets. Oh, but Ash gets caught by the Jarvan. Baited a little bit, and Jarvan goes down, but so does Ash. And very nice Leona picking up that kill. Heimer forced to flash away. And of course, purple team not going to want to chase through the turrets. Tristana by this point able to outrange the short range of these Heimer turrets. They're a little bit weak because I think it's only something around 550 range. So almost everyone in the game can take them down, and they don't really scale very well in terms of health. Right now they have around 600 health, 94 MR, and 44 armor, but they will go down very fast, especially in the AoE that purple team has to offer. However, Leona able to find the Oriana, decides instead just to back off, take a free dragon. However, the slow does go down from Oriana onto the Leona. Janna actually disconnecting. That is unfortunate. I shouldn't be looking at that though, because Mundo taken very low on health by the poke from Oriana. So we will see. Hopefully they don't, hopefully they don't go for something a little bit cheesy and just like push him into win in the 4v5. Obviously, they do push very hard.
Should we note that as spectators, we get to see that Janna is disconnected, but the enemy team won't see Janna disconnect for 5 minutes. So
yeah.
the next 4.5 minutes, they have no idea that Janna's gone.
Yeah, and obviously that did happen in the Fog of War. It looks like she disconnected around that second turret. So it's not like she was like walking into a turret or something, walking in a 5v1. Often when that happens, you say, did she just DC? And then, cheesier teams without the honor that we expect from games happening here on Milkcast will push to win, but I think Blue Team has no idea. And actually, maybe they don't even have the confidence to push to win because they are around 4k gold behind. Actually, a misleadingly small advantage for Purple Team. You look at the kills, 6 to 15. If you were in a game and you see 6 to 15 kills, you picked up the dragons, you say, guys, we're like, let's push. Come on. We can win some team fights. However, 3.8k gold, not the biggest thing in the world. We do see
did just pick up his Trinity Force, so
Jarvan
his
is
jungle
building a
job
Trinity Force, yeah.
tons of damage. With,
tons of damage.
Tons of damage.
Tons of damage. The #1 reference I am beating into the ground this week is tons of damage. Anyway, it looks like Jarvan might actually be in a position of 1v1 this Rumble. Riven coming up.
Definitely. Rumble is probably the weakest champion in the game right now.
Janna is back. That's nice to see.
Yeah, I'd rather have Leona in the fight than Rumble at the moment. Rumble does very little damage.
Although once he picks up that Rylai's, that is going to be a lot of AoE slows coming out. Oh, and by the way, Blue Team has 2 people spotted bot, and it looks like Purple is just going to rush the Baron. They do know that this ward, they do see on this board that they're up. Mundo is around. I don't know, maybe Heimerdinger, if he gets there fast enough, is going to be able to stop it, but no, it's just going down so fast. Tristana not dodging the knock-up here, actually taking a lot of damage. Rumble, go in and use your ulti. Finally. Oh, and the ulti completely misses! What a shame! Oh no, Nightwish just not having a good game here. Oh wow, Tristana did die to Baron, right? Or was it Ashe?
Wow. Tristana gets executed by Baron. That Rumble ult was horrible.
Rumble, baby. This is a sort of an unfortunate problem we have on Milkcast. Obviously, we'd like to welcome players of all skill brackets. And this game, I didn't really double check. I think Nightwish is a fairly new player. Hopefully, maybe going to want to watch this VOD. I don't know if that was a misclick or just nerves or something. He does, I think, have maybe a lot to learn from this casting. Hopefully, we can give him some good insight. Things like not picking a champ without escapes and no flash against Jarvan. Obviously, Riven would be great to run Teleport Ignite or Heal Ignite or something on against Jarvan because she has those Qs and that E she can get out of it. Rumble, however, no escapes, no flash, is just going to be stuck in a world of hurt in those Jarvan ultis. So really, a little bit of misplay in terms of just like conceptual game sense from this Rumble, not picking up the right summoner spells, which did, I think, put him far behind. And then also a little bit of mechanical misplay from that ulti would have picked up at least a double kill, and Mundo was around to maybe go in for the smite still if he had gone in earlier, if he had been a little bit more confident. Jarvan and Tristana just so low on health, and I believe the third person there was Riven, I think. Oh no, Oriana. It was Oriana. Yeah.
To be fair though, I have played some games with Rumble, and if you smart cast your ultimate, it is incredibly easy to miss it. Like
really? I don't know. I've been smart casting all my spells for a very long time, and I don't really see it. I think it is actually a little easier than people think. You hold shift, you click where you want to drop it, and then you drag and let go, just like Victor's E. However, I guess if you're not used to it, maybe he is a little bit new to Rumble this time around. We'll see. At any rate, I think that Blue Team very much has the chance to come back from this. About a 50 CS lead on the Ashe did decide to pick up a Negatron Cloak. I don't know if she's going to build a QSS. Not really anything she wants out of that QSS. Like nothing that I can really see on Purple Team that you would want to QSS. Lots of soft CC, but no real, like, you know, they've got the Ashe Arrow, they've got the Leona ulti, they've got the, you know, they've got the big CC that you really want to try and get out of, like to try and break the stun lock. You can't cleanse anything Jarvan has to offer. He has a knockup, which is not affected by either tenacity or QSS. Knockups are sort of like the true damage of CC. If you get knocked up, there's nothing you can do about it. Even as Olaf, if you pop your ulti mid knockup, you don't just suddenly teleport back down to the ground. Although Olaf, of course, will block knockups. Just once it happens, it can't be stopped. So maybe she's going to want to build a BV. Although BV not so effective against that that ulti. However, Jarvan finding the Rumble. I think Purple Team would make a mistake if they fought in this jungle though, because one good Rumble ult and you will kind of like lead it down a long corridor like this. Mundo getting caught. Lots of summoner spells. They do pop that ulti. Rumble, get your ult down now. Oh, and Rumble dies without even popping that equalizer, which would have done certainly got a kill on Janna if it hit. Heimerdinger, I'm not quite sure where his turrets are, does get a lot of damage onto Orianna with that turret. And they actually go very low. Of course, they do have this Baron buff, which is going to do a very good job of getting them back up to full health. Little bit of misplay here from Nightwish, and I think it would be great if we could have maybe some games where players like Nightwish can maybe fit in a little bit more skill-wise. However, at any rate, not. I mean, you know, if he can just put that ulti down, he does have a Will of the Ancients and he does have a Rylai's, and Rumble is a champion who is full of utility for his team. So I think there's still a lot of value that Nightwish can add. He just needs to maybe, you know, commit a little bit more. One thing a lot of players, especially at lower levels, will do is say like, oh guys, this is a bad engage, don't fight, just run. But really, if you get engaged on, even if it's not a favorable position, you know, once that Jarvan ulti goes down, once that Maokai twisted advances in progress, it's time to kind of switch gears and say, you know what, this isn't the best engage, this isn't the best situation for us. However, it's better to try and just fight and maybe pick up at least a kill rather than just getting aced 5-0. So luckily, very good positioning from that Heimer and the Ashe. I believe Ashe did kind of flash out of the real fight there. So it was only a 3-for-0 exchange instead of a straight ace, 5-0. And of course, Purple Team decided not to try and push against the Ashe, who is actually quite scary right now and making kind of all the right moves. You know, she is even just doing things like hawk-shotting rushes before she checks them. So I think she has some decent situational awareness. Doesn't look like she is really going to get caught anytime soon, and I think that's really what Blue Team needs. They are 7k goal behind and 12 kills. However, a lot of the kills are onto this Rumble, who isn't worth a whole lot. Same thing for this Heimerdinger, who died 3 times in a row. Mundo dying 4 times in a row. Those sprees are, you know, sort of like a reverse spree where you're worth less and less the more you die in a row until you get a kill to reset it. So, not the end of the world. Leona actually making also a little bit of a mistake here. She's incredibly durable. Her level 5 eclipse.
Riven over here, but she's too mobile. Even though Rumble managed to get the flame spitter and one of the E-procs on her, she just cruised away with her E and Qs.
Yeah, I did want to mention Leona going to have about 110 armor and 100 MR at this stage, with nothing more than a Shirelia's Reverie and Ruby Crystal once she pops that Eclipse. So she is actually very tanky, and I think because of that tankiness, she might want to pick up an Oracles. There is now a lot of vision from Purple Team on the side of the Blue Team's jungle, and no vision from the Blue Team. So 5 people from Purple just kind of sneaking through the bot side of the jungle.
Bot lane just allowed Purple Team just to go bot lane and push as hard as they can.
Yeah.
As hard as they want to even, because Ashe is in there.
Although also, Mundo, not knowing this, does get ultied, and that is almost certainly going to be a kill. They had no vision on that Purple Team. Ashe throwing the ulti down, cross map, does connect with the Janna, but not really a whole lot it's going to do. That is a very long stun, and I mean, all it's really going to take at this point is one Ashe arrow landing on maybe the Tristana, who hasn't yet picked up a Quicksilver Sash, instead building straight damage, i.e. Bloodthirster, and a Zeal completed. Let's see, I would sort of maybe want to see a last whisper from this Tristana. I think everyone on the enemy team has a lot of armor except for Rumble. Even the Ashe is quite tanky with just over 120 armor at the moment. So I think obviously this game is in favor of purple, but especially at this sort of lower level of play, I think players aren't so good at holding on to advantages. So you don't know. I mean, last game we did see more of a coordinated. That was a team game. BMT Gaming playing their second team game in these Reddit in-house 5s, and you saw how well a coordinated team can hold on to a game even when they are behind. Baron has popped now, so that could change things too. Maybe a smite steal from Mundo. You know, this time around, if purple team doesn't really get that kind of sustain they need, that is why Jarvan had such trouble taking down the Baron. He has no wriggles. Jungle Jarvan without wriggles, not really something you see every day. He benefits from it a lot because he does get 22% attack speed from his E, which doubles to 44% in an AoE, like for all of his team, once he puts down that Damashian standard. So he really can clear Dragon and Baron faster than many junglers with his passive and active AS steroids. One of the few junglers with a AS steroid around. And he's not a Mundo who has this kind of like sustained magic damage to clear camps without wriggles. He does require a lot of mana to use his Q and E to clear wriggles, and obviously that Sheen also requires a spell in order to get the Sheen proc going. We do see Janna has. I think that was 2 shields. Janna's shield is on cooldown, so it was the combo. Orianna. Yeah, it's a triple shield team: Riven, Orianna, and Jarvan. And in fact, sorry, it's a 4 shield team: Orianna, Riven, Jarvan, and Janna, all of whom have their own shield mechanics. Janna and Orianna, of course, able to put the shield either on themselves or others. Riven and Jarvan only able to shield themselves. Looks like Mundo is just gonna chase. Maybe. Oh wait, there's the Ashe arrow. Beautifully connects with the Tristana. Little bit of misplay from blue team. Not able to really follow onto that. Excellent engage from Ashe. However, Jarvan is going to go down oh so fast. Riven going in. I don't know about that. Maybe able to take down. Oh, and Nightwish just. It doesn't look like he has a grasp of how to use this Rumble ult. That's 2 times in a row now that we haven't really seen a perfect ult coming off of him. However, Janna and Orianna maybe going to be able to keep each other alive, maybe keep Tristana alive. A nice cleaver from Mundo. That was a 2-for-1 exchange. However, all the blue team very low on health. I think just too much damage coming onto the hands of Mundo. Not enough. Excuse me, it's very dusty in my room today. Thank you very much. That is going to be a Milkcast original sneeze. What was I even saying? Too much damage going down onto the hands of Mundo. Not enough damage going down onto the squishies you really want to target. That is Heimerdinger and Ashe. Heimerdinger out of mana. We'll see how much mana does this Chalice give him. 56 per 5. Not an insignificant amount of passive mana regen to have as Heimerdinger. Alright, apparently the sound is lagging, which is a problem I've been having on and off. So I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully this doesn't crash. Excellent. Okay, so hopefully that will fix my sound. It is a problem I've been having on some of these casts, so if you want to just send me a private message, drop me a message in IRC. If the sound starts lagging, I will go ahead and reset it. If anyone, by the way, knows how to fix that bug, please, please, please get in touch, because that bug has been the bane of my existence, happening almost every other game.
Just stop asking.
Say again? It's a sign I should stop casting? I think that phrase is a sign that I should boot you from the Skype call and continue this cast. All in favor? Anyone here actually care about this Australian caster I've got? No.
Did you not read the chat after I cast the last game? They're like, oh, Australian voice, so good, awesome.
Really?
Better than Got Milk. Nerf, Got Milk. Fuck, Got Milk.
Okay. Oh, wow. Huge mistake from purple team, actually. Like I was talking about, coordination. That coordination can lose a game. Because they have 3 people bot lane and Orianna mid. Only Jarvan really in position to maybe go for a smite steal on this. It is warded. Does he get it? No, he does not. Jarvan almost definitely going to pay for that. Oh no, but a very good ulti from Orianna. Hits all 5 and the W to follow it up. Although I think it would be maybe a mistake for purple to engage on this. Oh, Rumble finding Janna. The Ashe arrow connects with Tristana. Get in on that Leona ult. There is a decent Rumble ult. Tristana standing on it all throughout the game. Rumble does finally go down. Oh, Ashe gets caught. That is very unfortunate. Heimerdinger doing a ton of damage. Oh, and Tristana just taking it so low. Not quite able to get it off. Maybe one more W. No, and she's just life-stealing so much. At the moment, she does have that blood pressure fully stacked, almost, giving her a total of 21% lifesteal. Very nice. So I guess it was a good engage from Purple Team. I think really, Purple Team did a good job of actually using sort of a pincer move there. I think it was Tristana, Janna, and I want to say maybe Orianna or Riven. I definitely saw Jarvan and either Orianna or Riven coming from sort of the blue brush area, whereas the three other people on the team kind of moved in this way. Had they all come through that sort of like, you know, ramp kind of circle, semicircle brush, that Rumble ulti combined with the Leona ulti would have certainly turned that the other way around and been in favor of blue team. However, the Jarvan and the Orianna off to the side, able to dodge all of the damage on that Rumble ult, and the Tristana with her 20-something% lifesteal, just able to out lifesteal the damage Rumble's dealing. He doesn't have a whole lot of AP. He has just built a needlessly large rod. I'd like to see that personally built into a Johnny's Hourglass. Because what he needs right now, even though he's not really doing a whole lot of damage, he really probably wants survivability over damage. And if that Jarvan ults him, and he throws down his ulti and his Flame Spitter, and then pops the Janya, he will be very survivable. Riven going in, Tristana is around. Tristana doing a lot of damage onto that Leona, who didn't have her Eclipse pop. Eclipse, of course, giving her 70 armor and MR to really stay alive against the damage that Trist is able to put out. Lots of poke going down on the Mundo. He is running around with his Burning Agony down, which is going to lose him a little bit too much extra HP that he probably doesn't want to take for free. So we do see now 8-22, still only a 7k gold lead for Purple Team. We do see Ashe has picked up a GA, so she's very tanky, 150 armor, 140 MR, no lifesteal on her right now, only that Dorian's and probably a little bit of passive stuff from Masteries. Yeah, only 6% lifesteal compared to the 22% lifesteal that Tristana has picked up. So Ashe needs to be very careful about her kiting and her positioning. We do see a Randuin's Omen on Jarvan. She's not going to want to put down any auto attacks onto that Jarvan lest she gets slowed. And once Ashe gets slowed or CC'd, really her design is that, you know, you can cut and you can cut and you can cut. The second that slow goes down, you're probably going to be dead. You have very little damage, no AS, no AD steroids, unlike most other AD carries, and of course no escapes. Instead having a lot of utility. Very good Ashe arrows we've seen so far. Earlier, a fight around Baron was able to find that Tristana with the ulti. Unfortunately, I think blue team wasn't quite ready to go in on that. They were actually falling back when that Ashe arrow connected. Mundo, what are you doing? Are you maybe trying to bait out the ulti from Jarvan? That would be a very smart play. Mundo, of course, with 4k health and a Randuin's Omen, not going to really be affected all that much by auto attackers. It looks like he is finally going to build either a Wit's End. I'd like to see a Spirit Visage picked up for him because he does have so much health. And his level 3 ulti is going to really get a lot of value out of that that Spirit Visage. Unfortunately, Baron buff did just go down for blue team. I think that they... Oh, Ashe, you're standing on a ball! The Orianna ult is not used. That could have been a good engage for the purple team. However, would have only hit a single target. Lots of damage. Going on a Riven.
Orianna.
The Jarvan ulti is used on Rumble. I think not such a good ult, although it does hit Orianna. Riven going very low. Jarvan just tanking a lot of damage right now. Rumble is down. Ashe is still up, still has the GA. This fight definitely going in favor of blue team. Tristana uses that rocket jump to get in though. Oh, and it looks like Primo Style might have just DC'd. I think that does look like Primo Style's second DC of the game. Very unfortunate stuff, just standing there auto-attacking minions. However, a very nice John ulti was used that fight to sort of reset it. There's the disconnect. Very unfortunate. I think that we did see a one-for-one trade there only. So really sort of an average even team fight. Ashe looks like, nope, gonna be donating that blue buff over to Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger with 975 gold right now. So he needs about 1,000 gold to pick up that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which is going to increase his utility a ton. Each of those rockets, by the way, each rocket is treated as an individual spell, so Rylai's Crystal Scepter procs the full spell. He does actually sell his Giant's Belt. I'm not sure about that decision. Still has 900 gold in his inventory. If I were to sell an item right now, it would be that Chalice of Harmony. You don't really need mana regen this late in the game. You just have to conserve your spells. Ashe, of course, doing a very good job of wave clearing, so you don't really need to be spamming down spells if you're trying to make a push. All you want to do is throw down your W, which isn't very mana intensive, only costing... oh, actually, it does cost 145 per rocket, so that is quite significant at any rate. Selling that Giant's Belt gonna make him very squishy. We did see him surviving with, I think, less than 400 health, so if he gets in that sort of position again without that Giant's Belt, we could just see him die. Although he does have a Giantess, he is relatively safe. The only thing I think that's really gonna kill this Heimerdinger right now is positioning mistakes for burst CC. Burst damage he can kind of manage with his Chanyas. Purple team, it looks like they're just, last time Primo style did crash earlier in the game. Oh, although I was going to say they're going to play passive and wait for that Jarvan, sorry, that Janna. However, a very good ulti from both the Orianna and that is a perfect Rumble ulti. Gets spread over all of them. Ashe goes down in the middle of the entire enemy team. Mundo going down. Ashe is almost certainly going to go down. I'm not quite sure what that engage was all about. Very, very good Orianna ulti hitting all of them, and very good Jarvan ulti to follow up on it. They actually won a 4v5 pretty easily, pretty handily right there. And I think it looks like maybe Purple Team is not going to go for this Heimerdinger, who is just going to be able to kite them all up across the map. Baron has just spawned. Could be a uncontested Baron for Purple Team. However, it looks like they are going to do what I think is probably the safer option and just push down some turrets while they still can. That is so much health coming onto this Orianna, sorry, onto the Riven. 600 AP almost on this Riven, which is a lot of scaling on that shield, combined with the 300 AD on Riven. That is a lot of, wow. Heimerdinger gets caught out, doesn't put his turret down before he pops that Janius, and they're just going to wait over his corpse and pick up a kill. A little bit of a positioning mistake there. He wanted to get the poke down. Oh, and this is a very bad call from Purple, deciding to go for Baron instead of just ending the game. It was only a Leona up. Ashe and Rumble and Mundo did just spawn, but they could still just make that slow push for the 4v5. Tristana obviously with a lot of range, and you've seen how much Janna and Orianna can heal by putting those shields down. That is looking to be around 30% extra health on top of Riven. She has 2800. That's around 900 health of shields if you combine Riven, Janna, and Orianna. Very, very scary. The team looks like they are around. Maybe gonna go for the pick. Mundo, what are you doing? You don't have a flash. If Mundo uses his ulti, if Jarvan uses his ulti on you, you are gonna die. The Ashe ult finds the Orianna. I don't think that this is really the smartest engage for them. Heimerdinger is dead, and Heimer doing actually a lot of damage for their team. He has picked up his Rabadon's Death Cap now. Sorry, he already had that. I think I was thinking about a Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which he don't see picked up for him. He does have, it's going to be 1995 from a Giant's Belt, so around 2.1k gold on that Rylai's Crystal Scepter for Heimer. He's still quite a ways behind. He needs to farm up about 1,000 gold before he can get that. Set himself back a fair amount by selling his Giant's Belt earlier. Like I said, I would have sold the Chalice. At any rate, 45 minutes into this game, a 15k gold lead for Purple Team. We do see in terms of the items, which are perhaps a little bit more telling than just the gold lead, since a lot of that gold can go to the sort of supporty junglers and the supports, obviously. So we do see IE. No PD picked up yet for Trist. IE Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, Zeal, and a QSS versus Ashe's IE, PD, Guardian Angel, and Banshee's Veil. Ashe putting...
Ashe build. So you can have to either get Lifesteal or Last Whisper, and like... Yeah, I think... a Bloodthirster from Ashe because she has, you know, decent scaling on her W, and you know, you need a Lifesteal for team fight.
But you need the armor.
Exactly, you need the armor reduction. Armor penetration rather.
I really think that maybe... it's not the end of the world to pick up 2 defensive items, especially on a carry who is as vulnerable as Ashe. They have Jarvan, who has like some of the best gap closing kit in the game with his EQ ulti combo. So it's not the worst idea. I mean, obviously a live Ashe throwing out weak damage auto attacks is a lot stronger than a dead Ashe who would be critting for 50% more damage. However, I do sort of agree, the lack of lifesteal, her positioning has been generally good, except for that fight over here where she kind of got sandwiched between 2 or 3 of them, but that is, I guess, the power of a good Orianna ult, able to throw people out of position. Lots of damage going down on Jarvan, but that, you know, I guess you really do see that Ashe isn't all that far behind. Does only have 215 AD, but those crits, those IE crits, are able to do a lot of work to the enemy team. I think maybe I'd want to see her pick up a Last Whisper and not a not a Bloodthirster, and instead just go for the positioning instead of actually getting hit. Which, I mean, is sort of Ashe's role. I don't think that blue team wants to fight this right now. Ashe should probably get back a little bit because her G8 is still down. Actually, a little bit of a push going on top. Say again?
Her GA won't be up for another minute or so. Or a little bit.
No, I think it's less than that. It's a 5-minute cooldown, I think. And
yep.
And we do see it's,
it's
7/8 of the way through. Oh wow, but so much damage coming out on a Rumble. Rumble has picked up his Rylai's and Woda, and it looks like he does have the gold for a Johnny's now. It's an 800 combined cost once you have the Chain Vest and the needlessly large rod. That is really going to help him stay alive in these team fights. No, he didn't. Anyway, so we do see double Johnny's from Rumble and Heimer, which is going to be good for them as they are against a very bursty sort of comp. Rumble really not having the kind of game that you want to have as Rumble, not really able to get some good AoE damage down with that ulti in team fights. Partly because of good grouping from Purple, generally spreading out and not standing in sort of a line, which is definitely what you want to avoid, standing in a line when you're against Rumble. But also I think just you know, it does appear that that maybe he's not so comfortable, at least on Rumble. Did misuse a few of his ultis. We'll see. I mean, the combination of a Rumble... by the way, Ashe getting her GA back up. But the combination of a Rumble ulti and a Leona ulti could be huge in a team fight. Lots of cooldowns being used onto this Mundo. He's just going to regenerate it all. Does have that Burning Agony going. Looks like Jarvan is going to go in. Oh, Heimerdinger flashes very early. That could be a kill on Riven. No, not quite. Very good Leona ulti. Riven does end up dying. Double kill for this this Rumble. He needs to use his ulti. He still has his ulti up. There's the ulti. Very nicely done from Nightwish, able to turn it around. A great Johnny's. There's the Shirelli's Reverie. A nice knockback. Oh, but Ashe does get the permaslow, and that is going to be one very dead Tristana. If I were Purple Team, I'd have one person go back and defend this, and then the rest of them just go take an inhib, and maybe even the game. Come on, guys, you can do it now. You can push to win here. You do have Heimerdinger, who has a turret in his inventory right now. Heimerdinger obviously regenning those turrets. Oh, and he puts it down! That is a little bit of misplay from Burnibus. You really should have put it down at the turret because it does deal a significant amount of damage, dealing 600, sorry, not 600, 62 plus 114 damage per auto attack from those turrets, and they attack very, very fast. So you can just see, Panic Heimer next game, FU, I think that was. And we do see Jarvan not going to be able to defend his inhib, and the inhibitor advantage has swung in favor of blue. They do have 5 seconds on Orianna, but
they can push out on Nexus Tower here. Or...
I think they could. It looks like they are going to just go ahead and tank this top turret, backdoor, if you will. Lots of damage coming out from this Ashe. Oh wow, but Jarvan doing a great job putting some damage out, but no. A bit of a misplay there. I think he thought he was tankier than he really is. They're going to have to back off though. Riven not quite able to get that execution off on the Rumble. So very, very interesting here. We do see Jarvan down for another 60 seconds. Unfortunately, Baron is not up. Might be coming up soon. If they could get a Baron, they could really just make a very long push now that minions are pushing down mid. If you want to play to this, I mean, this game is sort of all about playing to your strengths, and now very clearly the strength is in favor of blue team in terms of pushing, and all they have to do is not let not let purple team win a team fight. You know, never really engage a fight if you're kind of down down a little, but instead just keep the map pushed, gain that control, really pick up on oracles, remove these couple wards you see poking around for purple team, make them kind of afraid to leave their base, and then maybe put down a little Heimer trap in the forest, in the jungle, and then when they go out to try and ward their base, go ahead and lead in with the Ashe Arrow, the Rumble Equalizer, and just win a team fight, push to win. We did see, by the way, Mundo picking up a GA. I don't like that at all. He still hasn't picked up a Frozen Heart. He has... someone... I think that obviously he is a manless champ. However, you're only paying around 400, 500 gold for that Frozen Heart. Really, Mundo... It's like, if Mundo dies in a team fight, he's done his job. You know? Right now he has 4k HP, and plus that ulti, which regenerates 70% of his maximum HP. Disregarding ignites, that's around a 6k HP, 200 armor, 200 magic resist Mundo. Very, very difficult to kill. And if he dies, it means that they've done around, you know, I want to say 18,000 damage, physical damage, unmitigated by, you know, mitigated by the armor in terms of the raw physical damage that they've dealt. It's around 18 magic and physical combined, 18k, and that is a very tanky champion. You die once, what's the point of living again? You've done your job. Instead, maybe a Frozen Heart really reducing the amount of damage Tristana is able to put out, as she does have a huge amount of damage, and now 6 items. Looks like they might want to go for an engage. Mundo can actually use that GA to kind of be a little bit more fearless and maybe get a little sloppy within his engage. It's kind of like high risk, high reward. We do see a BV and a Guardian Angel up on Ashe. Did instead go for that Bloodthirster instead of the QSS. I don't like that. If you look at the amount of armor you have on the enemy team, we have Jarvan at 184, Janna at 204, and plus all those shields. Orianna shield, of course, providing them 30 armor. A couple of, I think, an Age is picked up on Janna is also going to make them a lot tankier there. Jarvan has gone back to try and defend the base, and I think now is the time that now the time. See, look, no wards from the blue team. Very, very bad play from them because they don't know. They are wasting so much time just standing on this board. And Jarvan feels totally comfortable to go back and push because they know they have eyes on Baron. And it's not the end of the world.
Hang out the Olaf. That Olaf just beating too hard.
So, a little bit of a stalemate here.
See, I don't know. Here's the thing. The blue team is trying to bait them into the brush to get hit by the hard turret.
But they have 3 wards here. Mundo should really go in for the engage right now, in my opinion. Oh, and Tristana has just used her E, so this is the perfect time. That's going to be off cooldown by the time he starts taking damage. Oh, but Ashe flashes very early into the game. Early in the fight. That GA, wow, perfect rumble ult. Redeeming himself, hits all 5. Lots of damage going to go down on the Riven, and he does chase that. And wow, red team actually huge wave, double cannon minion down bot is going to definitely take that inhib, and we do see minions.
Jesus, that minion wave!
They're huge. I've never seen such a big minion wave in a game. And that is going to be a free Baron for blue, and they need to just go boom. We're gonna go push to win because with this Baron buff. A little bit of gold here and there, but I think generally people have 6 items. Now is the time. 2 of them down. It's a 3v5. All they want to do now is push to win, and this will be an excellent comeback game for blue team. They were down. They're still down, in fact, 10k gold even after picking up that Baron. However, this late in the game, we do see 6 items on pretty much everyone, and Leona a little bit far behind. However, they are just going to get 3 inhibitors, and this is a very difficult position to come back from. Yesterday, I don't know if you watched, we had an hour and 10-minute long game where the same sort of thing happened. Where 3 inhibs down, even though you're so far ahead in terms of kills and gold and fighting and ability to fight, if you get outpushed in this nature, it is so hard to come back. So all blue team has to do now is wait until these double super minion waves come. Here it is, the first one of the match, spawning at 5740. We're going to see 6 super minions spawning for blue team every 30 seconds, and that is going to be a huge amount of push power.
Not only that, super minions actually increase the stats of every other minion in the wave, so like...
Not super minions, but the inhibitor being down. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So it's not like an aura, but it is, you're right. Every inhibitor that is down gives, I think, around 50 HP for the minions. So you see 1,025 health on blue team's melee minions to 825. That's a 200 health gold lead. Sorry, a health lead. 38 armor compared to 38 armor, so the armor doesn't change. But yeah. They also, by the way, they not only get a buff to their health, they also get a buff to their AD, with about 50 more AD on the hands of the blue team's minions. So we are just going to see, I think, a long, slow push. These Nexus turrets will regenerate over time, but as long as blue team can put some consistent damage down, they should be able to. Riven's getting very low.
The shield! Jesus.
That's a shield from Orianna and Riven, and it is a significant amount. This is looking very bad for purple. Blue team now, Ashe looking like she's feeling comfortable enough to get in on that turret. Jarvan going in. Lots of damage coming onto Rumble. That time he did get his ulti up, however, he wasn't able to Janya's. Lots of damage going down on the Ashe, and this is actually going in favor of blue team. They haven't lost anyone yet. There's the kill on Mundo. There's the kill on Ashe, and there is about to be the kill on Heimer. I don't think it's going to be game because they are pushing into 6 super minions. However, it could be. Definitely looks like Tristana and Orianna are going to take down an inhib. However, the first turn of the game going down, Heimerdinger pops his darting, his Jonah, but it's not enough damage. She has 446 AD and a last whisper. However, maybe Tristana, if she wants to be smart about this, she's going to leave those minions there to provide her a source of life steal.
This is a game. Jarvan isn't able to defend from the super minions.
Look wow! Taking so much this damage. Is going to be such a close game. Tristana doesn't have enough damage to take down the Nexus. Jarvan is trapped in creep lock, and that is the game for blue over Zealous from purple team, trying to push down. I guess they really didn't see an opportunity. Obviously, those super minions are going to be spawning every 5 minutes. Sorry, every 30 seconds for 5 minutes, and that is a lot of push potential coming off of blue team. So blue team actually able to get that game. A little bit of sloppy play. I don't know if they had given up. Riven, Orianna, and Tristana all left the base while those super minions were able to push things down. And obviously, Orianna, tons of damage. Riven, perhaps one of the best minion clears in the game. She has that Q, which deals a huge amount of damage. She has that W, which deals a huge amount of damage. And Tristana, with that 90% AS steroid and 6 items this late in the game, just going to make mincemeat out of these creep waves. Jarvan, unfortunately, no Wriggles Lantern, no Lifesteal, has that Triforce, has that Randuin's. I don't think Randuin's affects minions. I believe it's only champions. So, I mean, just really adding up. Jarvan is very good against enemy champs, but no real wave clears on his kit. Since he doesn't have that Wriggles or like a Madrez or something that would deal extra damage to minions. So, very close game. 1 hour and 5 seconds long this time around.
What I love about that game, though, is that from the very start, blue team was so
just
behind.
Getting stomped.
I'm talking 10k gold early on, and yet there was no surrender. Not even one surrender vote.
Yep.
It was just ridiculous. I thought they were going to surrender 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but they didn't. And then they managed to bring it around by some very, very smart plays. Ashe had amazing positioning, and Jarvan unfortunately wasn't focusing Ashe, which was like something really bad. And then Ashe was able to do a huge amount of damage in team fights. Orianna and Jarvan got low in the last team fight, and they were just unable to defend from the super creeps. Trish tried to backdoor, you might call it, but was unable to do a lot of damage because obviously turrets have extra health and resist when
no minions are around.
Yeah, when no minions. So Jarvan and Orianna couldn't defend from the super creeps, and Tristana was basically like jerking off in their base doing nothing. So
no, a little bit greedy. Obviously, getting a kill is not worth losing the game. You know, this is not a deathmatch. It is a pushing game. And Riven definitely could have defended the base and kind of delayed that that win for blue team. Blue team did kind of get a cheesy minion victory. Look at the team fight. I mean, look at the actual the team fighting stats. 16 kills, 32 deaths on the side of blue team. Of the kills that they got, only 46 assists, whereas purple team had 79 assists. Purple team, the strong, dominant, not only just getting kills in lane, but also getting kills in team fights. However, Heimerdinger able to push so hard. And really, this game was won because of pushing. And this, of course, League of Legends, I will say it yet again, is not a deathmatch. It is a pushing game. So anyway, it does look like I'm getting a lot of messages, which probably means we have yet another game ready to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and end this recording. I will say it is great to see these long games that go back and forth. And I guess my final thought is it is awesome that we didn't see that Rumble just give up and AFK and QQ and blame. I think without a doubt, if you look at his... oh, he does have 353 wins, so I guess maybe just not so familiar with Rumble. And maybe got hammered extra hard by that Jarvan, who of course has that super strong gank at level 6, but he didn't give up. He flubbed, I think, 2 or 3 ults in a row, and I was kind of like, what is going on with this Rumble? But in the end, hit maybe 3 or 4 perfect ultis, landing on top of all 5, perfectly lined up, you know, got a nice kind of spread, didn't let them run out of it in any real direction. A little bit of a mistake to fight on for purple team to fight in those corridors in the first place, but very nicely positioned on those Rumble ultis, from Nightwish11. So I'm going to say GGWP. I'm going to end this recording, and I'm going to hop into our next game here.
Yep. Join Theory of Nuns game as a spectator.
All right, here we go. And by the way, for anyone watching, looks like probably our next game is going to be full. Usually we're organizing these before they start, but go ahead and join the Reddit in-house channel, and if you want to get in on these games, because they are organized before the game's finished, so that we can kind of keep things moving along smoothly. Speaking of moving on smoothly, I'm going to say GGWP one more time, end this recording, and get on to the next game. Here we go.